soul, 'cause you're teaching me how to slow down. Surrender it all, let you take control.
Before we begin, we want to make something clear. On the internet and in books, you can find many resources telling you how to address feelings of anxiety using things like breathing techniques or types of mindfulness and so on for immediate relief. These can be obviously very helpful, but in this video series, we're dealing with systemic causes of anxiety. We're hoping to bring long-term solutions. So let's begin this video segment by diving into some practical steps from our Philippians 4 passage, which says this, beginning in verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. To address our anxiety, we must first be aware that we're feeling anxious. As we stated before, I cannot change or heal what I do not acknowledge. We have to start identifying the things that cause us to feel anxious. We've got to return to the right-hand circle that we drew and list what is making us feel anxious. It's important to acknowledge that these are things beyond our control. These are things that we must simply leave to God, remembering He's in control and that He deeply cares for us.
God is also inviting us to start practicing a peace-giving lifestyle. Practice talking to God and others about what you're thinking and feeling. Many of us isolate and stuff our emotions. You need to start talking about what you're believing, what you think the facts are. That is what we have emphasized from the very beginning of this video series. To begin to recover from any emotional distress, we need to start talking about it. Practice gratefulness and thankfulness. Routinely practicing gratitude helps us experience increased positive emotions. Gratitude increases dopamine and serotonin levels in the brain, which are key neurotransmitters that give us feelings of contentment. Gratitude can have such a powerful impact on your life because it engages your brain in positive, virtuous cycles. A recent study looked at the amount of gratitude people tended to show in their daily lives. The researchers looked at the combined effects of gratitude and sleep quality on symptoms of anxiety and depression. They found that higher levels of gratitude were associated with better sleep and with lower levels of anxiety and depression. 1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." Note that in this passage it does not say, be thankful for your circumstances, but in your circumstances. It's saying that no matter what circumstances we're experiencing, we can still be grateful for what God has done, what He is doing, and what He is going to do in and through our lives. Gratefulness is the visible acknowledgement of an invisible reality. The reality of God's care and love for us in the midst of our life circumstances.
Practice trust, believing that God is very present and cares for you and those whom you love. Remember His promises. Trust is a peace-giving thing to practice. If we practice it every day, it lets us move through our day in peace. For example, when we drive our cars, we trust other drivers to stay on their side of the road, and we enjoy the benefits of driving safely. When we fly, we trust in the pilot and the plane, and we enjoy a peace-filled flight. If we practice trust in our relationship with God, we can enjoy its peace-giving attributes. In Isaiah 26:3, it says it well. You will keep in perfect peace all whose trust is in you, all whose thoughts are fixed on you. There are two facets of what it means to trust God. One aspect is recognizing that I can't control things in the gap, the things that are in that right-hand circle. We rest in the fact that God is in control, and we trust Him with that right-hand circle. The other facet is recognizing certain things are in my control. Trusting God means that I must, in faith, take action to change those things that I can reasonably control. For example, you may get an illness. You may get cancer. Your loved ones may suffer heart disease. These are things in a gap, the right circle, which you and I cannot control. Trusting God means we allow our hearts to rest in the fact that a loving, caring God is present with us, and He has a plan for our lives and those we love. This is more of the passive or inactive part of what it means to trust God.
On the other hand, trust or faith in God also looks like this. I take care of my body, I eat well, I take my medicines, I don't expose others to my illness if it's infectious. I help my neighbors and family when they are hurting. This is more of the active part of trust and faith. Trust means doing what I can to control those things over which I have the power to change. Both the inactive and active aspects of trusting God are peace-giving. Why? Because God is in control of the things I'm not. And for the things that He tells me I should and shouldn't be doing, I can know and rest in the fact that they are also His form of protection. Anxiety is our attempt to control the future and what it will bring, while gratitude is learning to give God thanks for what we currently have. Before the final video, discuss the following questions with your spouse or friends. 1. Do you consider yourself a person who can easily be comforted by someone you trust and feel loves you when you're feeling anxious? Yes or no? Please explain. Number 2, in a moment of distress, is your first thought to believe God is always present with you and He cares about what you're going through? If not, why? In our last video, we will continue to discuss practical ways to manage anxiety. See you then.